Welcome back to Hill and Dale for another casted game. On the South Hill this time we have Firehick in the red as the Chinese, and on the North Hill Melathorn in the purple as the Byzantines, both players sticking to their civilization colours this time. Now, if you haven't seen him, Firehick does have a great Twitch channel. He streams every so often when he's finished his exams and his homework, so definitely go and check him out for some Conqueror level gameplay. Now, you're going to be watching the scouting, and you will have seen already that we got a front scouter and a back scouter. So if you've seen any of my casts on this map, you will know I am very much in the front scout camp. So I think Firehick has definitely gone in the right direction. So whether he's managed to scoop up all of those sheep is the question, because on this map they do hug the hills and hide in little spots. So I think we might have just missed one behind that gold vein there from Firehick. But on the other side, if we take a look, Firehick at the moment has 3, whereas Melathorn already has 3, and he's about to pick up a 4th as well. So even going for the back route, they're on similar footing. So whether Melathorn is able to cut him off now and stop that approach, then we will have to wait and see. But this matchup I think is particularly interesting. So both of these civilizations take a little bit of time to kick off. The Chinese want to go for their Song dynasty usually, maybe they even want to go for a 2TC, which takes time, and the Byzantines are not slow by any means, but they want to get their winery probably, most likely. They want to get their mercenaries out, which does take a little bit of time to get the oil and to produce them. So it does take them a little bit of time to get cooking. And then if they do decide to go for additional cisterns and all that kind of stuff. So as the Byzantines, I was always relatively happy to see the Chinese, because I thought that would give me a little bit of extra breathing room. When you know that somebody could be knocking on your doorstep with a knight at 4 minutes, it's always a little bit more scary. So what are we expecting then? I think from Firehick as the Chinese, I'm thinking that the first landmark is probably going to be the Imperial Academy, just because it gives you so many eco bonuses, and against the Byzantines you've got to be worried about their eco, because they have the cheeky little cisterns. So if we take a little look over, we can see that Melathorn has got his one over there covering the gold and the stone. So I don't mind this placement too much, because we do have front berries. Now this is going to be a problem for him if Firehick goes for something a little bit aggressive, because both of the landmarks are going down. Nice positioning on the winery here, so he's done it 2 farm spaces away. So normally when you're placing this, you do want to be thinking about how many groves you can fit in between. You either want it with 1 grove right next to the TC for extra security, or here as it acts as a drop-off point, you can get the berries more easily. We can see here that Firehick has gone for the classic Chinese base building of shove everything next to your TC so that villagers don't drop off at your TC, and the Imperial Academy will then get all of your drop-off points. So it should, when it's built, we will be able to see it. It's definitely going to get this mill, and it's going to also be able to get the lumber camp that will go down and the mill that will go on this front deer as well. So I'm imagining we might be seeing a front barbican here to protect the hill, but we'll have to wait and see. He is going quite heavy into wood, but he does look like, yeah, there's only 6 on food, so it doesn't look like it's going to be a fast song. We'll have to wait and see what he is cooking. But as for Melathorn, I'm imagining that the second cistern is probably going to go here by the berries, because then it will cover this wood line and the berries, and then he's got wood, gold, food, all of that good stuff. So this cistern also could have been placed here, and then it would have got wood, gold and food, and then the other one could have been on the back to get the deer as well. But obviously at the beginning you really want to be going for these berries, because that's going to give you all of that juicy olive oil. I guess it's oily olive oil, you know. But we can see here, interesting, we've got, hello, what's this? There's a villager here on the opposite side to the market. Melathorn's not, we're doing Byzantine trade. Okay, that's what we're doing today then. So the Byzantine trade boom, you saw it here first, guys. Double market going down, but luckily for Firehick, he's seen it immediately. So if I'm not going to put his vision on because I don't want to ruin all the minimap and all that stuff, but he's definitely going to have seen that, which means he knows that traders are incoming. So on his side, he's still not going for song, he's going straight for units. So I think Is he going pro scouts? Because obviously everyone at this level is loving pro scouts at the minute. I'm expecting with the next patch it's going to get nerfed into the absolute ground. It's going to be back in oblivion and no one's ever going to touch it again. But we can see here we need a little bit more gold. He does have the taxes, so once he drops that off he's probably going to get enough. There we go. And because he supervises it, he will get it more quickly and he's going to get resources back. So for the Chinese pro scouts is actually really, really nice. We can see actually he is going for some more scouts. He's not going for horsemen to deny the potential trade, but Melathon's got it set up, but he's just not quite got it cooking just yet. So there's none in queue, even though he can make them. So this is a strange strat. I've never seen a trade boom where you don't start just making traders. So obviously it's good to have multiple markets, but I kind of treat them a bit like production buildings, that if your market isn't producing, why do you need a second? What just happened? He sold all the oil? He's not even using the oil for mercenaries? And that's a very weird... So this is a weird cistern placement. So because it doesn't cover these because they're already covered by this one. It gets the deer, but these berry villagers aren't even covered by a cistern now. This is one of the oddest Byzantine builds that I've ever seen, and I'm already loving it. So we do have production from all three markets, and this is interesting because they will get oil as well. So 14 oil and 70 gold is a really nice income, but to secure this, he's going to have to wall off this whole side that's super open. I'm not sure about this. We can see that Firehawk on his side is going for Imperial examinations, and if we switch over and hit my scout hotkey, we can see they're already running around picking up all of that juicy deer. So going for this front deer pack over here and this one on this side. Obviously can't deny the one in the base, but he might be able to sneak some scouts over here. But even if he just gets these two, that's a lot of value. So on Hill and Dale, Pro Scouts isn't as good as the other maps because obviously each player gets one in their base, but he will also be able to use a scout just to pull this in and not have to build a mill and all of that stuff. So that's pretty decent. Horsemen coming out as well, so still no units from Melathorn. Now this is risky business. So he's got a little bit of oil. There'll be more incoming as they come, and he's walling in, so no gates at the moment. I'm guessing that's maybe to prevent the traders from doing something crazy and running around the outside, but we'll have to wait and see. Also no gates on this side, so yeah, that must be what he's thinking at the moment. But horsemen coming out now to cause some problems, and is it being supervised? It is. So we got 3 Imperial officials, and that means that these horsemen can come out in 9 seconds. That is very, very fast, and the taxes that you get from that, it's really, really crazy. So it looks like we do have some production coming in. We've gone for the mercenary house. Now, do we have a contract? We've gone longbows, okay, which generally is the standard kind of play, but against horsemen, yeah, maybe Limitene longbow. It's not too bad. The problem is, if Firehawk now goes into the Song Dynasty, then he's going to get Chuganu. And Chuganu, although longbows can counter them, you have to have a lot more. And he's obviously spent the initial oil, so it's going to take him a little while to get those guys cooking. So we can see that the wall is going up, but this trade isn't being protected. There's a lot of these guys going to go down, and that's a lot of value. You know, if we take a look at the markets, that's what we're looking at, 60-60, and that's a lot of gold early on. So yeah, I'm not sure I'd want to be losing all of these guys. I probably would have actually pulled them back and just garrisoned them in the TC or something, ready to go back out. But there we go, look, he's focusing on that trader because he knows that's where the value is. Limited A doing a lot of value, but here we go, look, again, Melathon's going to lose these guys this early on. This trade boom I just don't think is exactly the right play. Maybe going for a slightly safer start to it, hiding the markets on his hill potentially. If, for example, if he walled in and then he stuck the markets here so you couldn't find them and walled in the base and then just walled off this other side, that could potentially have worked. But these horsemen are now running around in circles trying to get all of these traders. So that's another trader going down. If we take a look, we've got more being fed straight into him. Only 5 left, and these 3 have just popped out, and the other ones are getting chased, but they're just going to run straight through the gate, and they're just going to get these horsemen. Another villager going down. This is not the best start for Melathorn, and this is going great for Firehick. It looks like he's actually, straight into castle. No Song Dynasty, which is really strange actually at this stage, because you would think you'd want that for the faster villager production, especially against the Byzantine eco. But with the trade boom, which you never see again as the Byzantines, it's probably not the end of the world. But more horsemen coming over to try and deny that trade, as the first deer pack at the front has completely vanished, and this one I think there's only a couple left, so 3 more. But it does look like the Melathorn has actually killed these deer in advance, so that is going to make his life a little bit easier. But another trader going down. This is a lot of value that's being lost. That's a big drop off when that goes in. See, 70-14 oil, that's really nice. But also the berries at the front of the base here are going to deplete very, very soon, and Firehick is in the castle age. So if I were Melathorn, I'd be really worried, because Byzantines in the feudal age doesn't really have an answer to heavy units. If Firehick goes knights now, it could be a little bit better, but he does have the astronomic clock tower, and although Nesta Bees aren't as powerful as they once were, they're still pretty good. And we've got Song Dynasty coming with the Barbican going up straight away to secure up this front gold. Interesting. Not sure I'd have put it here. I probably would have put it in between the two here and got both gold veins, but horses for courses and Barbicans for gold veins, I guess. And we can see that here we go. Melathon's trying to wall up, but he's not quite guarding against those horsemen, and now they're running around like crazy trying to get some damage on that villager, but he knows that's where they are. And we can see here that we've got a couple of spears guarding these traders. If we take a little look at the boom, how many do we have? 11 so far. So this is looking like it's starting to build, but the other resources are looking a little bit lackluster at the moment. Usually you'd expect maybe to have some groves, not be losing another villager. So that's 11 units down so far. I think this also counts traders as eco units, so that's a lot of value that has been lost. And these horsemen are running circles around the Limitanate. Oh no, go get them! Go get them! Oh, and here come the scouts to cause more chaos. So at the moment, there we go. That's a lot of vision for him. He doesn't stack, but it's never a problem. If you don't use your scout, why not build 7 of them and then come in? But building knights into these spears, I'm not sure that's the right play. Some palace guards running around the eco would have, I think, been able to get in here and cause a lot of damage early on. But we'll see what Firehick is cooking. If we take a look at his base, nothing coming out of the astronomical clock tower just yet, but obviously out of the 2 landmarks, that's definitely the one that he wants, because he knows where all the villagers are. They're in the base because he's trading. So more spears, longbows coming up. There we go. So Firehick's going to try and burn this down, but the longbows have got extra vision, so they've caught them. And don't run around the outside. Okay, there we go. Oh, I was about to panic that they were going to run around the outside. Don't chase that one. So, and the knights are in. One knight's going to go around and get the villager on that side. Oh, that little split is just distracted Melathon. He couldn't decide which way round to go, and so now the horsemen with that mobility are going to be able to get away. Please don't say he's got shield wall. He doesn't, so he's not not in that problem at the moment. But the Golden Horn Tower is going up on the back, and we can switch over to income per minute in a second after we watch these longbows get absolutely decimated by this castle knight. That's really not what you want. And then there's a couple of Chuganu, as expected. They're coming in now, which is going to deal with those spearmen really, really quickly. We can see we've already got the +1, which means they're doing a lot more damage. And where's that trader come from? Oh no, they're not running around the front, are they? Oh please, we've all been there. We've started a trade line and we've put a gate in, and then suddenly they decide around the front of your base is actually faster. That's really not what you want. But Golden Horn's coming up. Let's switch over to income per minute, and we can see the difference. That Pro Scouts is absolutely skyrocketing Firehick's food income at the moment. We can see all of these deer carcasses there being supervised as well, giving us an extra 20%, and all the taxes from the mill. 360 there. Huge amount of gold just sitting there waiting to go in. And now the Chuganu are chasing the spears, and his longbows are out of position. And by out of position, I mean dead. So there's 2 more lots in queue, but all of these traders, no, Melathorn, pull them back, hide them, have a tower for them like Mongols, anything. Oh, that's this eco is going down, and you don't want to run spears into Chuganus. This yeah, this fight is not going to go particularly well for Melathorn. I'm speechless, guys. I don't even want to look. Let's have a look at how many traders we still have left. So we have 8 on the field. We've already lost a huge amount, 21 units down. Back to the fight. I think I'm going to have to be strong for you guys, and I'm going to have to just watch the carnage. Chuganu's absolutely melting these Limitanae, and the longbows on the back trying to get them. If these guys go, then that's going to be a lot of damage, but more Chuganu coming in, finally taking him. But the longbows caught out of position again. The spears are finally making contact. Oh, that's a big loss there for Firehick. A really big mistake there from getting caught on those spears, and finally the tables are turned. But don't let your longbows get caught out by that spear on the back. That spear on the back, the horse on the back. Oh, my mind is melting, just like these Limitanae. But the horsemen, the scouts, they're all going down now. The spears have finally made contact, and the units are starting to find supremacy. We've got stone walls coming up inside the base, onion walling. We've got a stone wall on this side as well, so this side of the base is nice and secure. But this is where hill and dale, the spawn, can make a big difference, because if the hill is more central, it's a little bit easier to wall both sides. This side is really the big issue because it's so wide and so open, and you can't even really use the resources because they're all hugging the hill here. If these guys were in the middle, you'd be able to sort of spider your way across. But more Chuganu and horsemen coming out, crossbows as well in the mix, and we've got a couple of catters. Obviously it's the Byzantines trampling through those Chuganu, and this is now where those Chuganu are going to feel the wrath of those armored units. Huge damage coming through. No gulp. Obviously we've gone for the Golden Horn Tower, which means you're going to be able to get some free longbows and Landsknecht. So let's take a little look. If I remember my hotkey, let's which button is it? Let's go check. Here we go. Have we got the upgrade? We do, so we will be seeing some Landsknecht at some point, and we've got the upgraded longbows. But on the backside, couple of horsemen catching some of the reinforcements over there, as these catters, you want to be able to keep them alive. But it also, while all of this has been going on, here we can see the relic coming in. Firehick has actually managed to get that. A nice little Wallalo. Are they going to get it down? Just about. There we go. But did lose the catter for it, and all of these spears are now going to go down to the Chuganu. That's a big loss there for Melathorn. Equal military numbers, and it looks like the food here has finally ran out. All of that deer has been exhausted, so now it looks like Firehick's going to have to focus on building his eco if he wants to keep up with the slow, steady progress of the Byzantine Empire. So System coming up on the winery after all the berries are gone, because obviously that's what you do. Sarcasm very much intended. We've got the deer here, so finally eating up all of that deer, and the stone wall slowly going up, because once this is up, it's going to be a lot more difficult for Firehick to find damage. So hopefully these guys can rush that out, and probably want a few more villagers on that just to get it up and to keep my units together. So we've got the military here. You definitely want to be keeping it on this side, making sure that Firehick can't just sneak around the edge, because until that final bastion, the final point is built, it's not considered a wall, and they'll be able to run around the outside. And I really hope that's just a graphic bug and there's not actually a tiny little gap between the edge of the stone wall and the map. I'm pretty sure it's not, but you know, we've all been there. You think it's against the edge, and it's really not. So Ecotech's coming in for Firehick as well. And this is, oh no, this is exactly what I said. He pulled back his army and they're going to make it in. Oh no. I wish I wasn't a fortune teller, but this. And Firehick doesn't even have the spy ability from the other landmark where he can see where villagers are. But even more traders going to be going down. The horsemen coming in. This wall not quite finished. These two parts also destructible. So if he decides to, he could try and burn that one down to cost some stone to Melathorn as well. We've got Teardrop Shield coming in, which is a massive tech. 1 armor, 1 melee and 1 ranged. Also remembering it's 1 of each. You've got the increased movement speed on Limitanae, and the Varangian Guard get plus 15 attack speed. So this makes a massive difference to your army if you've got all of those units. But if we take a little look at the fight, let's pull the UI away so we can enjoy the carnage around this wall. And it looks like now the longbows are going to have to try and make their way around. Chuganu kiting to their heart's content and focus firing on those spears. Longbow's got the range, but they need to be kiting. Horsemen coming in. Nice little brace from the Limitane there, catching those, but I think there's too many horsemen for the Limitane to deal with. He can't take out the Chuganu, which is slowly melting his front line, and this does look like it's going to be a sorry state for the Byzantine Empire. We do have some Varangian Guard that are tanking damage. They are pretty good, but very, very expensive, and against these numbers, they're just not going to cut it. Villager trying to run out on the top to finish that wall, and another one on the back being taken out as well. So more damage. If we take a little look at the eco kills, 27 to Firehick, and as I said, he's going to try and burn down one of these walls to do some damage. So this could cost not a lot, but it does break a few of these sections, which does mean it's going to take a little while to recover. Please, 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 please. Thank you. Thank you, Melathorn. Also, this relic definitely needs to be picked up. I think he's forgotten that he's got the winery, so he can actually build monks as well, and that would give him extra oil, because his oil income is pretty decent. So I wouldn't be going for Lanch Connect. I'm guessing that's from the Golden Horn. Yep, so we don't really want those. We want longbows, so we definitely need to be getting more, but okay, the longbows, there we go, doing a nice little bit of damage, and once these units are cleared out, he needs to just take like 15 villagers and literally quick build this wall so that he's secure before the siege comes, because as we can see, we've got Firehick's Knob on the way. It's going to come to knock on his front door and say hello. We've also got siege engineering that's just coming in, so these units are going to then be able to build Ramson. Oh no. Oh no, he didn't. Oh, he did. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, I love this. So because the wall segment's not finished, he's able to run all the way down the wall. Is he going? Can he do it with cavalry as well? Surely not. But yep, they're able to get through, and now they've got the advantage. Ay, ay, ay. If only they could climb up here, that would be crazy. But the longbows, oh, this actually may be a miscalculation for Firehick there, because the longbows have got the extra range. So the Chuganu, as long as they stay out of range, they're not going to be able to get them, but they're still getting quite a bit of damage, and they can come down. They can't get through the gate because the gate is locked, but they are able to sit on top and fire. This, I actually have never seen anyone actually using the walls like this. Trying to get into the base. He needs to clear, Melathorn needs to clear out these units so that he can get his trade going again, because the whole thing is about the trade. And oh, you cheeky boy, look at that monk. He's literally strutting away, loving life, doesn't have a care in the world. 5 relics for Firehick. Now this is not a situation you want to be in. When your opponent has that many relics, you're in real trouble. Oh, pulling the horsemen around to try and get a surround on those longbows. Not enough units to take them out. Unfortunately, it looks like lots of those longbows are going to go down. Spears running around in circles, trying to find the right units, and the spears running out to the Chuganu. Ay, 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 this is not going well, but does look like overall, actually, he's managed to pull it out. So, for some reason, this is only level 1. What's happened? Okay. Okay, sure. So we've got one one over there. Just, yeah, I very confused here in the casting booth. But let's take a little look. So now they're pushed out. This is where Melathorn needs to get this wall up. That is priority number 1. So basically I would literally grab all of these villagers if I had to, send them over, get the stone wall finished, and then he can focus on everything else. But I wouldn't want to be pulling out into this fight. This is going to be Nesta Bees firing on top. They don't do as much as they did, but definitely wants to get that down if he can get to it, if he can make contact. Oh, but the Wallalow as well. Oh, this is good. This is very good. Horseman converted. Oh, taken out just before conversion, but oh, this is where Melathorn's just thrown a load of units away. So he's got the advantage at this stage, but yeah, he needs to keep his military here, and he needs to finish that wall. So he's taking a few villagers, but he's pulling his army away again. No, Melathorn, what's happening? While we're doing this, we've got the full granary transition on the back. Let's not neglect Firehick's base while we're doing it. And no trade for him. Obviously, he has gone for the sacred sites, so those guys are ticking. He hasn't got this third one at the bottom just yet, but he is focused entirely on getting this base down. So these units, why? These guys are way higher than me. Obviously it's easy to see when you're doing this, but these guys need to be guarding the wall from the outside, because at the moment Firehik shouldn't, if this is guarded, he shouldn't be able to get into the trade, so he needs to do that. But even with that, with the Song Dynasty, he's ahead because of how many of those eco units he's got. Some villagers deciding to run away rather than finishing the wall, which is definitely not what you want to be seeing. And we've got the Chinese posturing outside at the front of the base. We've got a huge amount of stone from Melathon. Not sure if he's planning on going for TCs, if we're looking for a keep. We've obviously got a stone wall at the front, so that's going to be securing that up, and we're going full turtle mode. He started trading the other way. No way. So but Firehik knows. He's got the emplacements, so these guys are going to... Oh, no. Please don't say we're going to lose these. How many have we got? We've got 16 so far. They need to be pulled back. This... So... Oh, and the tower going up, getting caught by those guys. Those villagers are not going to be making it home for Christmas. Oh, but he's pulled away. What's he going for? Is he going for the traders? I think he is. Oh no, and even more villagers. Oh, this is such bad timing for Melathon. I feel so bad. Look at this. Oh, the villagers going to get caught again trying to put a keep up. No military to defend, and these villagers are getting absolutely decimated here. Oh no. You love to see it, unless you're the Byzantine player, and then it's a very sad day for you. All of those villagers going down. If we take a little look, then let's flick it round to the proper vision. There we go. And now this tower is going to be taking out all of these villagers, and a keep as well on the sacred site. So all three of these will be ticking across as Firehik goes Imperial. It now, what is Melathon gonna do? His oil is pretty decent at the moment. He's got his grove set up finally, so this is going to be really nice eco. He needs to connect this cistern and get to cistern level 5 immediately. With all of this stone, that needs to be priority numero uno. We've also got all of this military over here as well, but yeah, they're not going to be able to make it through here because there are stone walls. Whether Firehik knows that yet, he's probably just got vision on that, but now it's all going to be about whether Melathon can actually take out these sacred sites, because now this is ticking. We've got the defensive landmarks and keeps at the front, so this is going to be keeping the middle very secure. This one is open, but oh no. I don't think this is a fight you want to take. This is a lot of damage he's going to take for trying to get this keep down. Obviously, it doesn't have, if we take a little look, it doesn't have the emplacements just yet, so he should be able to take it down, but at what cost? And it is giving Firehik all of the time in the world to get his military over. We can see the big swarm, the red swarm in the middle coming across, but what is this keep stopping? I don't understand why you take it. It's confusing for me. The gatehouse is going up as well. I wonder where we're putting that. What's it defending? Is it getting one of these guys? No, not there. At the front of the base? Where are you? Oh no, the toxic gatehouse. Oh, Firehik. I love it and I hate it in equal measure. We've also now, after taking out that keep and losing a huge amount of units, now they are getting pushed back. Palace guards decimating longbows, and the military numbers are swinging back into Firehik's favor. We can see the gatehouse is going up, and the range on this bad boy, the damage. Now the front of the base is basically inaccessible, and so there's only one avenue of attack, which is really over here. But yeah, Firehik's on it. He's got one villager on it. This keep is not going to be making up. Third keep denied here by Firehik, and a villager trying to mine some gold, but he needs to pull this back, and he needs to be producing. I think this stone needs to be used for something. I think trying to get those keeps out on the map, trying to get gold is... yeah, it's just risky. I think defending the base would have been a better choice and getting this wall up earlier, but these units are... don't want to be losing them like this now. At this stage, you've got 7 minutes. It's all about massing up, trying to get a big final push. Lots of siege, I think, is probably the way to go. Like, we can see some trebs coming in here, but where do you attack from? You've got to try and decap one of these sites. This one is too far in Firehik's territory. If you go all the way over here, it gives him all the time in the world to just shift over to you. If you come at this one, you've got keeps and you got the Great Wall Gatehouse, so I don't know whether I'd waste my time doing that. It looks like Trebs are shooting it with the Greek fire, so those guys are trying to do that from there, but that one is going to take a long while to get it. So I'm not sure. We got the Palatine Hill. Okay, at this stage, because I need siege, I think maybe even the foreign engineering company could have worked, because then you can get French cannons and use that amazing artillery shot to try and take out this gatehouse and some of these buildings. But all Firehick needs to do now is just mass up, make as many units as possible, get his production going, ready to print. Yeah, and he's obviously got the Yuan dynasty, which also boosts his military as well. But now he's in the gates, and that Treb I don't think is going to be surviving too long against the palace guards if he decides to push. But it's all on Melathorn now. What's he going to do? What's his plan? We can see him massing up. Is he going to take this fight? I don't know whether he's ready for it just yet. Just got Imperial. He's got his upgrades. Treb's getting hit by those horses at the front, and now the base is being taken out. No mangonel emplacements, no defenses on those groves, and we can see now that the bombard is looking to take these out. Treb's on the back trying to do a bit of damage, but the bombards are actually able to snipe those guys out pretty effectively. There we go, so that's going to be gone. Nesta bees peppering these units, not doing a huge amount to be fair, but enough to cause some bother. But we can see that the villagers have got their spears out trying to take out these raiding units, but that's still a lot of damage. And the Palatine Hill also only gives you value when you produce the custom or the unique units from the Byzantines, when you get the Varangian Guard, the Lemetinate and the Cataphract. So if his eco is in shambles, he's not going to be able to produce those, which also means that Imperial Landmark isn't giving you as much benefit. So this is tricky. The units are flooding in. We got siege coming from the back. Firehick not content with just waiting for the sacred sites. He's gonna do damage. We've got a bombard that's about to be palace guarded in the face. And these guys, the speed on them is absolutely insane with this dynasty. We can see they're getting the Treb there. Not being able to protect this siege is going to be a real problem for Melathorn. And here come the bombards. This is absolutely huge. If we take a look at the military, it was up and down and all around, but unfortunately Firehick has the numbers here, and it's only 4 minutes at this stage for it. More stone being gathered, and we can see there is a keep on this sacred site as well, but the base is now the issue. Is he also going for the landmark snipe before the end? We'll have to see what we can do. Finally got this connected, but we've already lost a cistern there, so we're back to level 3. Even with 500 in the bank, we don't have the full level 5, which means everything is not producing at maximum capacity. We also don't have all of the eco-techs, unfortunately, which can be quite of an issue, but selling some of these resources, getting the units out is the only solution. Definitely need to try and keep these alive, but look at these raiding units in the base. The bombard trying to take them out, but oh, this is painful to watch. If you love the Byzantines like I do, it's never fun to see them getting absolutely decimated like this. The siege on the back, this lonely nest of bees somehow still surviving with 21 health and slowly destroying these houses. Only 70 population now, and this is really a sticky situation. So 11 traders, which means we've only got about 30 villagers compared to 130 from Firehick. So the eco difference you can see at the top is night and day. So it's just going to be seeing what techs we've got coming in. We've got the additional barrels for the one nest of bees that he has because why not? We've got the elite army tactics, which gives the extra damage and melee armor, so it's going to be able to do even better against these. We've got some Streltsy. Nice choice. Streltsy are really good. Obviously want to be getting a mass of these, but just don't have the resources at this stage. Definitely need to try and sell some of this gold, but here we go. The bombards are going for the landmarks, all of them in one place, and Melathorn calls it. The Byzantine trade boom not quite paying off this time, and the lonely nest of bees putting the final pepper in the coffin. But I hope you've enjoyed this Conqueror level game. Check out Firehick on Twitch, and I'll see you next time.